What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the third studio album by rapper Nas. Basically, this product is called I Am, also subtitled in certain senses with the original edition called I Am the Autobiography, and it came out in the spring of 1999. So particularly Nas's second album, It Was Written, was a pretty commercial success. Pitches like that was a good follow-up to Illmatic, which was, continues to be seen as one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Pitches like that. And by the way, this is a request review by Rush On. As far as we're supposed to have him get into this one, he requested this several months back, pitches like that. So I'm getting requested these in threes with the series of Coolio and Onyx albums as well, pitches like that. So it's within those ordeals. But yeah, this particular album followed up Illmatic, and It Was Written, two large albums that kind of have a lot of shoes to fill as far as this pitch can have an excellent type of ordeal. Now within the fair, I don't know like the full bound reception as to how this album was particularly kind of received, pitches like that kind of within the fair about it. It seemed like more or less, for the most part, most people tend to think that, of course, Illmatic was Nas's best album, but he does have other gems in there. I do like the appeal of It Was Written as well, some good pitches like that. Definitely had some, it was just the level up type appeal where it was just, I would definitely feel like Illmatic was kind of more ground level, kind of weavings, just amidst like the city lobbies and things like that. Some of those fairs amidst like the grid of the alleys and pitch like that. Some songs like Halftime, some of those type of songs in there. But the pitch, it kind of reached like some loftiness within the appeal of this more upping within the fair. This particular album doesn't really follow that format. It just has more amidst like neighborhood type fairs, just different genres. It's not necessarily like a level 2 to Illmatic this time. I mean, it has a couple retreads from fairs from Illmatic, pitches like that, but it really tries to be its own body of work within the appeals as far as saying this is not following like the template that particularly Illmatic kind of set off. It's not to say full bound it doesn't at all, but it's just kind of pitched. It has a pretty healthy palette of things on here. Unfortunately, Dr. Dre's not on here this time, but I wasn't expecting him to full bound, but it's just the pitch for us. It has some good products like the fair of some of these type ones. He reunites with DJ Premier on this particular album, good pitches like that. So it's kind of the fair. It's a healthy palette of things. I mean, Nas actively has some things on his mind, which is kind of one of the reasons why he typically seems like a rap heavyweight, pitches like that. Some type of ordeals. Just the aspect that he has shit to say. Pretty similar to Tupac. It's interesting within this fair as far as just having the palette of just being able to particularly have this album manifested in fairs like that without tons of club bops on here and things like that. I mean, it has some social pizzazz, but it's not thoroughly kind of in your face, and both the two singles on here are kind of within a differential type aspect, so it doesn't really go for like the standard approach of just like dance songs, flex songs, car songs, lady songs, pitches like that. Kind of the ordeal, just like more pizzazz than an hammer. It just kind of feels more amidst like something to say and kind of amidst the aspect of like city kind of embellished in like an NY type flavor. So it's just the pitch. It's very much a New York type album. It's just the pitch as far as saying it just has different kind of, feels more amongst the city variety and just not quite as like, not to say full bound greasy like Illmatic was super greasy pitch like that, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying it just has more aspects of this, the tone of not consistently full bound being in Hustlers makes it has some embellish, but it's just not approaching it from like the standard type angle like Scarface, the world is yours type mentalities, pitches like that. But it's within the fair, it's within the pitch. Nas is still Nas. He doesn't lose his edge, pitches like that. But it just feels a little bit healthier now within pitches like that. Not quite as super tore up. Not as many full bound type songs to really get shit faced out of your mind, pitches like that. Not songs where you just would be buzzed as hell in the whip, pitches like that. Like Halftime, some of these type ones, and other type ones like the world is yours. Some of these type ones, the pawn shop type songs, pitches like that. But being able to say there were two singles. Two singles off this product. One is Nas's like. Now, originally I was thinking this is the one that sampled Beethoven, but I think that's actually on Stillmatic as far as what's supposed to happen. The album from 2001, or maybe it's Godson from 2002. I forget which typical one it was. But Nas like, this is a nice one here. This is produced by DJ Premier. It's like a highlight primo and Nas tune to kind of get within these aspects. Just some city danger to kind of have pleasant kind of park romp, I'd say. Pitches like that. It's kind of some Monday errands, pitches like that. It's kind of very just basic type one, really. It really feels like a carefree walk in the parks and those type of ordeals, some of those type of aspects. Now, within the tone, probably having like a zigzag affair, but it just really feels like the aspect of just kind of a pleasant kind of date afternoon, cooking like a hot dog or two at the park or a burger or two, something within those aspects, just chillax type fare within the aspect, just some typical kind of sunny April or May pitch like that, flowers are out. The leaves and the flowers are blossoming, pitches like that. Just appreciate the weather, some of those type fairs. So interesting type fair, have the angle as far as knowledge, just kind of appreciating the scenery, pitches like that. Not like you couldn't, but just the fair about it, good type product. Hate Me Now is a traditional type one. This is a real banging type one. This is a familiar type one. This is one of those type ones that's like Dead Wrong by Notorious B.I.G. that just has pretty relatively consistent kind of New York and kind of airplay within the aspect of thinking like when you think of East Coast hip hop. You think of East Coast hip hop pitches like that. Hate Me Now is like a vintage NY and familiar kind of routine city staple to get here. Pitches like that. Just amidst like some traffic, I'd say some of those type fares miss like traffic. It's kind of a miss like traffic paranoia pitches like that. Just kind of get some Quiznos, I'd say, within the appeal. This is kind of the product. This is one that feels like the 2010s kind of mixtape scene, some of those type formats within like an East Coast type fact. This would have been a great song to have heard the Notorious B.I.G. on some of those type pitches, just within fair pitches like that. Folks like The Locks, Jadakiss, Styles P, Chic Luch, some of those type people within the aspect. That traditional type flavor that probably a bunch of folks from the East Coast probably freestyled Cypher 2 pitch like that, some type of ordeals. This is a good one. It has that typical kind of mean mug type grit, kind of with an aspect. This album does not take a super ton of songs within that direction. It's full bound. It's just kind of a good pitch to have like that familiar kind of NY flavor, just a new era type staple that made some banging kind of noise. But yeah, just a good product to have like Quiznos, good like a good fucking Bud Light as far as those pitch happens. So just excellent within the ordeal as far as the fair's going to happen within it. Good type flavor, just traditional kind of NY staple out of like late 90s, early 2000s pitches like that. But yeah, I recommend every song off of all 15 of the songs. The only one that was within the pitch wasn't as full bound, was just the album intro, but that wasn't as much full bound of a song pitch like that. But within the ordeal, 10 out of 10 albums, some of these type fares. There's plenty of these. Real nice one on here is Life Is What You Make It, featuring DMX. Like the appeal behind this particular song. It's real ravenous type one that just feels like Hollywood type appeal. I don't think Nas was as full. Nas might have been in a movie or two pitch like that. I don't remember his full bound, but this is the burgeoning scene as DMX started to get his Tupac on pitches like that, being in movies with Jet Li and Aaliyah, some of these type folks in the aspect of having this particular fare. It's real good, kind of Max Payne type style type tune pitch like that within some of those products. Like that particular scene as Hollywood started to get embraced with like MTV, VH1, rap music, some of these type fares. Moving out of this like the typical kind of gangster rap type appeal with it as far as those pitch can have them of like, when you think of like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, some of those type ones. But within the pitch, this particular fare, Life's What You Make is like a red hot kind of DMX flavored Chinatown weave around to get within these aspects here. Just shopping, going shopping, some of these type aspects, shop to drop, those type of PLs, take a diva out in like a gritty type sense. Is good pawn shop type fair pitch like that, some type aspects. DMX has a stellar verse on this song, as does Nas within these pitches. It's a good type format, this familiar type pitch, especially more biting within the nowadays type pitch. DMX being pretty sorely missed just with that candid kind of energy that he had. Good pitch like that, just good timing, excellent type fair. It's a real hit song. It was dope that Nas pulled up. Nice dope song that Nas pulled off pitch like that. Some of these type ones. NY State of Mind Part 2 is nice. It's like a nice retread, feeling rattled, I'd say, here within pitch like that. Has the smokes in your system. One of the few type ones is full bend that kind of has the usual type pitch, Illmatic type vibes within the glare type sense. Yeah, similar type production, pretty within the most type fare. Just a little bit of new, good chunk of enhancements for like the original. Good chunk of enhancements from like the original NY State of Mind from Illmatic pitch like that. Just Illmatic style kind of lobbies, some of those type fares from the aspects. And just those particular tones, it's one of those type ones for folks that do particularly miss that album, just the nostalgia behind it pitch like that. I think that's one of the big type varieties of what makes Illmatic like so large, just the nostalgia that goes along with the album. I think it's too bad that like It Was Written doesn't have that same sort of nostalgia pitch like that, because that is a classic as well. But it's kind of pitch as far as saying within some of those, just some of those type vibes in between like. It's like shopping lobbies, some of these type fairs, hotel, motel lobbies, pitches like that sense of aspect, like a city type sense. So one of those type ones, but this album doesn't have terrible much within those themes about it. Money Is My Bitch is a nice one. Now this kind of retreads a little bit of It Was Written, some of those type ones that feel like more summer homes pitches like that. It's like a quality kind of vacay type tune, I'd say here. Sandy Times and Loft Affair, I'd say pitches like that. It's kind of out and around. It's kind of Tibble, just kind of seeing like some sunshine and getting like your tan on pitch like that. Just kind of have pastrami and brisket, sounds good type fares. Just get some sunshine as far as those aspects going to happen. So one of those type ones. It's typical kind of Dawn like Nas doing those particular type of PLs, just going to places like Florida and places like Texas, some of these type aspects with the tone behind a good product about it. Mexico pitches like that, I'd say. You Won't See Me Tonight with Aaliyah's nice, good snag to get Aaliyah on here within these pitches. Definitely seems like an uncommon song by her pitch like that, good type fair. It's like a basic daytime bop and readying Gliss to get. You Won't See Me Tonight. It's like a basic daytime bop and readying to get within these aspects here. Just gliss through like the day pitch like that. Just kind of go through, get the task done. Some of those type fairs, pick up some Fritos, some of those simple type products. Not kind of a Chinatown type song. So just to pick up some Fritos pitches like that. It's kind of a Chinatown type song. Some of those type fairs. So just to miss like the shopping kind of day brisk as far as those pitches. I'm just within like typical kind of large NY type fair pitches like that. But this feels like a traffic type song, just without the dredge. I'd say just a little bit more pep within the aspect of like some of those type products that just feeling good, chunking up the deuce foremost like that as far as this aspect's going to happen, just to miss the fair, just a breeze along that just is miss the traffic and the makeshift, but just not quite as frustrating within the pitch as far as this fair's going to go. So just good kind of pseudo commercial type song, good type pitch. I think this probably could have been within the fair behind it, but yeah, so this probably would have been a more commercial type choice, more like it was written type fairs with like If I Ruled the World with Lauryn Hill, sounds type aspects, a good type tone. Dr. Knockboot is a nice one on here. It's like a dope pajama cat kind of city slump kind of bounce to get within these products. Just a nice club bop to kind of have, chunk up the deuce, some more pitches like that. Holla, two-step to this song, some of these type pairs. So it's kind of the pitch. This reminds like Outkast off their ATL Inside albums, good type pitch. But this is one of the few type songs. Nas does not really have a full-bound ton of songs out this album like he did on, like It Was Written, like If I Ruled the World, and that song that sampled Tupac. I forget which song that is, but I think that was like the first single. There's one that had the beat from All Eyes on Me on there, but both those type ones, those 296 singles, pitches like that, so it's kind of fair. This is one of the few type ones where Nas is a little bit more gliss factor and a little bit more within the enamor about it, but it's good type pitch. It's kind of in a more smooth kind of strip club type sense, just post up, red eyes a little bit. The song Big Things is a vintage Nas type song, pitches like that. It's like a creeping kind of vintage Mob Deep. Big Things like a creeping kind of vintage Mob Deep and 90s kind of NY Hero to get pitches like that. Just some snack runs to kind of have some of these type fairs, Colt 45 pickups, some of these type aspects, this traditional kind of NY weaving. Then the aspects of some of those type products, are just the grease and the grip behind it. Songs like Ghostface Killah, Wu-Tang in like 93, 94, pitches like that. Just kind of some paced kind of routine as far as this fair's going to go. This one's pretty similar to Hate Me Now, pitches like that. Some of those traditional kind of NY grease pitches like that within those ordeals kind of about. Just like the flavor of this particular aspect. Definitely if you're missing like the vibes of the Infamous by Mobb Deep and some of those type ones, 95, 96, Onyx, some of these type folks in the aspects as far as that traditional kind of East Coast NY type flavor. It's just good type pitch, but Nas definitely had some topic focus on this particular album. It's good type pitch. It's like a throwback type one. This doesn't really feel as full bound like Illmatic either. It's just kind of pitch. It is giving you like that traditional kind of token East Coast NY from like 94, 95. So this pitch like that about big things. I don't know if I talk about Small World, but Small World is nice. Small World is like a murky and shadowed kind of night run and harrow to get within these aspects. It's leftover gripe. I'd say some of these type fairs probably a good song to bring donuts. And to be a good type song to bring donuts and zigzags as far as those fairs going to happen. This is more like a makeshift type song and like a hustler's makeshift type sense pitches like that. Just that typical kind of grit and grease as far as those fairs go. Just to miss the aspect like that particular fair. It's good type tone of like having like night shift type products to kind of take care of tasks to wrap up within the sense of leftover day fair not being over just yet pitches like that. It's this kind of aspect just like, yeah, basically just leftover gripes and those type of ordeals to get the tasks roped up. So these type of aspects about it, like I was saying, good product to run through Krispy Kreme, Sunset Fairs, bring donuts along, get some zigzags going with the pitch, within the availability of being able to do it. Pitches like that is kind of within the task. Some of those type fairs is keeping straight and pitches like that, but still the hustle being tight, pitches like that. Favor for a Favor's nice. It says Scarface on here, good pitch to get that. And also, Hate Me Now has Puff Daddy who helps out with like some ad libs and the hook a little bit on that particular song. Good type flavor, just traditional NY, like I was saying, good pitches. But I look after Favor for a Favor's nice. It's like a good night surfing and routine kind of. Favor for a Favor is like a good night surfing and routine kind of steady erranding pitches like that. Say here, it's kind of a happier kind of 3-6 Mafia type track. It's kind of pitch some of these type ones when you usually think about night run type songs, kind of more mean mug type vibe, but just like fuck this. Some of these type fairs really getting tore up in this IDGF type mode pitches like that. It's kind of aspect as far as saying it's kind of within the tone of this kind of one of those type ones that's amidst like the night fair hitting up Taco Bell, some of these type places, Quiznos real late, some of these type fairs within it, but just not in Pawn Shop's definitely some of those fairs, but just not in a rotten mood about it. It's just kind of one that just is like, hey, maybe I'm not horribly pissed off. Some of those fairs within the pitch, this kind of aspect. Man, the lyrics within the song are different from like the fair, but the production fair just gives me more vibes of something that just is a little bit more pleasant within the aspect. It's just kind of more of a vibey kind of snack run type grip pitch like that, I would say, within those products, but good aspect about it. I want to talk to you as a quality one on here as well, as like a charming and I want to talk to you as like a nice one on here as well, as like a charming and feeling prompt kind of food for thought to get within these aspects, pitches like that. Not saying he wants to talk to the mayor and talk to some of these folks that run things, pitches like that, some of these type products. Just Nas wants to station some things, pitches like that. It's like a good smoke type song to get, have some smokes in your system, some of these type fairs, but kind of lacing things within the same route as far as those pitch can happen. So it's just one of those type ones. Not so much full bound philanthropic. I think that's correct how you say it, philanthropy, but philanthropic as far as those pitch can happen. Not, it's within that variety, not as much full bound where you'd be entirely suited, laced up pitches like that, but kind of the fair, just within the right direction, having some of those type ones, kind of the way. Kind of just the product of having your ear to the streets and pitches like that, kind of paying it forward, some of these type aspects. good woke type song for 1999, pitch like that. So type ordeal. So just the product of having like the aspect of just throwing in a helping hand with like some smokage in your system, pitches like that. So some of those type products, as far as those pitch can happen. So just kind of with the very like kind of half frazzle, but just good type pitch can have the product of just having your mind in the right place, pitches like that. I'm trying to think of some other type ones. I don't think I've talked about KISSING. KISSING is like a good afterthought, and Pink Sky Malays kind of get within these products here. Just basic commerce, I'd say. Weekday kind of doldrums, I'd say. Just good fog type tunes. So I like the smoky kind of romantic tinge about this song, pitches like that. It's just kind of fair. One of those type ones. So there's a couple on here that have like some Tupac off of like the Illuminati album from 1996 type fairs, pitches like that. Like Me and My Girlfriend, some of those type ones, pitches like that. Other type ones like Just Like Daddy, some of those type ones with an aspect just that typical kind of summer afterthought kind of shine, this porch type music with an aspect of this kind of. So KISSING reminds like Lauryn Hill, pitches like that. And yeah, so within the fair that did the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill did come out around this time within those pitches, pretty much like 5, 6, 7, 8 months old, pitch like that within those ordeals with good product amongst that. Some of those type fairs kind of get within it. Similar type vibes, just have like an orange juice, good type fairs, simple kind of kickback and meme set as far as those pitch can have, just good type flair to appreciate like the evening weather pitch like that. Undying Love's another nice one on here. It's like a Liddy kind of Tupac style evening dredge get within these aspects. Just get burnt and good nice one to get burnt to. Good candlelight kind of sifting, I'd say, pitch like that. Just a good real nice gaze type song pitch like that. So this within ordeal. This couple good steely type songs pitch like that within ordeal. This more romantic flair within the aspect of this kind of excellent kind of ride for me type vibes within the pitch of this standard connect. Excellent aspects of Bay Connect, going high grade pitches like that as far as those pitches come. So just within the pitch as far as saying this Lace Your Girl pitches like that as far as those deals kind of having some kickback just with like some smoke type product and just neighborhood type panache as far as this first game. It's excellent type pitch. I'm looking up here, trying to think of other type ones I haven't talked about on here. Don't think I've talked about Ghetto Prisoners. Ghetto Prisoners like a glittered and scattery kind of night winds to get within these aspects. Good smoke fair, I'd say, about some of this particular product. Just enjoying like the smoke trip as far as these first have. Memes are pretty funny within aspects. On top of that, just enjoying like the task of like particular fair, just a good brand of things, just having some good times, just kind of grooving as far as these pitches can have. Now within the fair, the particular aspect about this song is a little bit different within product. Within the particular aspect about this song is a little different than like the product of what it is, but it's kind of aspects as far as saying the vibe of the song kind of convey. It's traditional kind of Nas food for thought, but you get some good enjoyment out of the factor of just paying attention and just zoning out within pitch like that. The standard kind of recreational type fare out of a Nas album pitch like that. Some of the products just have like good batch of Doritos and smoke type fare, good blueberry swishers, tropical swishers pitch like that. Some type ordeals on the pitch. So good aspects there. Cozy type fit, just kick back. Trying to think of other type of songs I haven't talked about on here. I think the only last one I haven't talked about would possibly be We Will Survive. We Will Survive is nice, like a glowing satin kind of city loftiness to get within these products. This reminds of like Illmatic and like an elevation type tone pitch, just like that. It's kind of some thought to have. So this is one that kind of has the aspect. This almost feels lobby bound or just to miss like the city fair to shopping malls, just to miss like the fair or just like consistent kind of weavings and aspects like that. Just a little bit more traverse within the neighborhood type bound. There are some ones within the aspect that kind of have more homebound typeness, not as much full bound amidst like the city product every single time was kind of pitched as far as saying some of these type ones have the aspect. This new places, not as much alleyway this time, not as much within the block struts and city greases full bound within the aspect, but it's just good nice one for like the lofty type ones that Illmatic kind of had within those buildings where you just would be kind of stoned as hell out in like the bright lights and skyscrapers pitch like that. Good fare as far as these pitch comes. So I look after 10 out of 10 album. 10 out of 10 album. So in turn, the social score is going to go ahead and get. Now, I would say within the fair, this is a good type product of what it delivers upon, but I think this, like certain folks, like when you think of 50 Cent not being able to supposedly top Get Rich or Die Trying, Eminem not being able to supposedly top like the Marshall Mathers LP, that's just typical kind of commonplace saying that Nas isn't going to be able to top Illmatic's kind of fair. This is a pretty good type album, but it just doesn't really have like, I mean, I feel like Hate Me Now is a good type song that made a lot of noise, definitely like an underground staple, Street King type song pitch like that, was kind of ordeal as far as saying apart from that, it's kind of a little bit of choir type album. Surprised that he only went to 2 singles pitched like that, but it does have like, it's very chatty. It's this kind of pitch. It has the aspects first, it has a good aspect like some shit to do kind of on here pitched like that, kind of within the ordeal, healthy palette of things within the aspect, just not as much within the casual type commonplace, but then that's kind of Nas in general within those pitches. So it's just kind of fair as far as saying just pay attention to it. Some stuff to do. The Night Run type songs kind of on here, not as much full bound like within the Grease, a little bit healthier now, not as much full bound. I mean, the smoking songs are on here. I do like the romantic songs on here too, pitched like that. 1 or 2 type club songs, some Chinatown songs have some good type flavor. There is a little bit of like NY kind of grit and grease within aspects like Illmatic and just Tibble type fare of those particular type days, but it's this kind of pitch of a little bit more active, not quite as foul as far as those pitches can happen. Just kind of the aspect of just lessening like the product of like the usual kind of just homies kind of hot boxing, get shit faces full bound. It's not to say it's full bound with them pitch like it's not on here. It just has more things in mind this time. Just a little bit more productive oomph as far as this pitch can go. But good type pitch. I look after it. So I would say within the social score, I think I said 10 social, but it's kind of within the pitch. Maybe like probably 9.75, something like that. I mean, it's good enough to say that the quality is definitely on here, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying, just in terms of when you think of like the large spread kind of singles off of Illmatic, that's kind of the only fair bet. But I'd say pretty much 9.75. It's just the variety. I mean, it's a fun type album pitch like that, but it's just kind of fair. There's just not like many large songs casually apart from Hate Me Now, so this kind of pitch. I'm going to say 9.75. So in terms of futures, like Nas, as of December 2025, dropped a new album, I think with a DJ Premier pitch like that. I think it's called like Light Years, something like that. Some of those type of ordeals is within these series of East Coast type albums. They're kind of on the comeback pitch like that. Some Blister type ones like Ghostface, Killa, a couple other those type folks pitch like that. Excellent type ordeals, good type pitches. This you can get to some more further hit Nas down the road, like Stillmatic, some of those type ones with the pitch. I've virtually reviewed every Nas 90s album now, pitch like that, but within the ordeal. Good classic pitch like that, kind of underrated. Some of those stuff is kind of haphazard with like the kind of uncommon and seldom with like the reception it gets, but just good type flair, just a rickety kind of gem that has its turnout, definitely, I'd say.